Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video we are going to be discussing the return of the Overlord in Ninjago Season 16 and why it seems like a likely thing to happen at this point in time. Throughout the past week or so, the Ninjago community has been on fire. With the big release of the new Ninjago Summer 2022 set leaks, coming courtesy of Promo Bricks, several Ninjago fans have been losing their minds over what exactly these leaks show, which is the return of several older Ninjago villains, including but not limited to Harumi, the Skull Sorcerer, Pythor, Esphira, and possibly Unagami and Garmadon. The Ninjago community has not been surging like this for a very long time, everybody's excited, but one big question still remains. Is the Overlord going to be one of those returning bad guys? Well, according to Promo Bricks and some of these Ninjago set descriptions, it does seem as though the Overlord has a very high chance of returning in the next Ninjago season. In today's video, I would like to get into the evidence that supports the Overlord coming back, and how exactly I feel about this entire thing. But before we do that, I must give you guys a quick disclaimer. This video will contain several Ninjago theories and pieces of information that are not 100% confirmed. Not even these new set leaks are 100% confirmed. They come courtesy of Promo Bricks, and the entire page had to be translated from German to English, so some things might be lost in translation, but some things may not even be correct at all. Promo Bricks is a very reliable source though, that has gotten several bits of information right in the past. So with that quick disclaimer out of the way, why exactly should the Overlord come back? Let's start with that question. Some people think that the Overlord should never come back, but me, I feel very differently. I really like the Overlord's character. I think he's one of the most intimidating and scariest Ninjago villains in history, and I really enjoy the characterization of the Dark Lord of Ninjago being the physical embodiment of evil. The Overlord is essentially Ninjago's most evil bad guy, and he played a large role in the original final battle of the series, which was intended to be the series finale all those many years ago. For all of those reasons, I really think that the Overlord should be the final boss of the entire Ninjago series. The Overlord should be the last villain that the ninja ever come face to face with. My dream ending for the entire Ninjago series is to see the ninja battle the Overlord one last time. And according to these new set leaks, it does seem like perhaps the Overlord will be returning in the summer of 2022. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the Promo Bricks website so we can take a look at what evidence we have regarding the Overlord's return. Okay, so going back to the Promo Bricks set description for the Crystal King, this is obviously set number 71772. Let's read through this really quick because I feel like it is necessary to read through this once again just to get a general idea of what's going on here. The Crystal King set in the LEGO Ninjago 2022 Summer Wave should be particularly interesting for many fans. This is not a classic mech but a centaur, hybrid of a horse and a human. The Crystal King is predominantly black with details in purple and gold, purple, gold, and black coloring, keep that in mind. Particularly striking is the golden armor on the belly, which bears a certain resemblance to the Overlord's armor. The Crystal King is equipped with a long lance with a new crystal tip. You get a couple of figures in this set, including 2 crystal samurai, Harumi, a new Lloyd minifigure with hair and a cape, and one other figure that is not listed here. At least 4+ figures down here. Okay, so resemblance to the Overlord's armor, that's what I wanted you guys to take a look at right here. The Crystal King apparently has golden armor on the belly, which bears a certain resemblance to the Overlord's armor. That in and of itself is quite shocking to me because the Overlord has a lot of very iconic armor designs and whatnot that are very unique to him. We saw that during his appearances in seasons 2 and 3, so if a certain character, the Crystal King here, bears a certain resemblance to the Overlord's armor, or at least the armor looks similar, that makes me think that perhaps the Overlord is involved somehow, just because of how unique that armor is in terms of a design. As you can see here, the colors as well, black with details of purple and gold, those are classic Overlord colors. We saw those colors being used effectively in the Overlord Dragon set that came out last year for Legacy, so it honestly seems like the Overlord will be coming back in some way, but I'm not exactly sure if the Crystal King himself is the Overlord. That remains to be seen. The Crystal King and the Overlord could very well be different people. I'm also not exactly sure about the Centaur form here, hybrid of a horse and a human. Centaurs are very weird looking creatures, and I'm not exactly sure if the Overlord would fit that characterization, if the Overlord would fit in that form. I imagine that would be no problem for this series, to put the Overlord in a new form like this. We've seen the Overlord in multiple forms before. He's been a dragon, he's been a gas cloud of sorts, and he also had his humanoid form. So a new form of the Overlord, if the Crystal King is in fact the Overlord, I would not be too upset about that. Either that or the Crystal King is simply a servant to the Overlord, and the Overlord himself is actually this new four-armed antagonist that we can see popping up in sets like Lloyd's Ultra Gold Dragon. That could very well be the case too. Perhaps the Overlord is this new four-armed antagonist, and the Crystal King just simply works for him. Hence the armor bearing a certain resemblance to the Overlord's armor, while this isn't actually the Overlord. Maybe the Crystal King just works for the Overlord, and perhaps this four-armed antagonist that appears in here and a couple of other sets is in fact going to be the Overlord in a new form. We've seen the Overlord in a four-armed variant as well during his possession of Garmadon, so that would not be too far-fetched for me to believe. So yeah, I mean, the Crystal King could be the Overlord, but he also could not be. I'm really on the fence about this. I think that the Crystal King's identity would make a fine persona for the Overlord to adopt. Again, we've seen him in multiple forms before. However, I think it's very much likely that the Crystal King could simply be working for the Overlord, and the new four-armed black figure that we talked about earlier may in fact be the physical embodiment of the Overlord. That could be his comeback form. We've seen the Overlord with four arms before, not only in Ninjago Season 2, but also for Ninjago Legacy, which characterized the Overlord as having four distinct arms. If the Crystal King truly is the Overlord though, why are they calling him the Crystal King? Why not just call him the Overlord? Why is he known as the Crystal King? That's another reason why I think the Crystal King itself may just be a large beast taking commands from the Overlord himself. That would go on to explain the Crystal King's beastly appearance, obviously not a humanoid appearance by definition, obviously taking inspiration from a centaur as we said earlier, which of course is a half-human, half-horse hybrid. Taking a step back and analyzing the entire summer 2022 Ninjago set wave, this does seem like it's prime time for the Overlord to return. We have Golden Power, Golden Dragons, what's missing? The Overlord. I think the Crystal King set does hint towards the Overlord possibly returning, and if it's not the return of the Overlord, maybe the similarities in the armor is just one giant coincidence. That much remains unknown right now. However, due to everything else that's happening in this season, and due to everything that we've read in these set leaks, I think there's a very good chance that the Overlord will in fact come back in this season in some way, shape, or form, and whether or not he's the Crystal King remains to be seen. I just think there's a high chance that the Overlord is not actually dead following his defeat at the hands of Zane during Ninjago Season 3, and I feel as though we will see the Overlord come back once again, one more time before the Ninjago series is finally over. If this truly is the final battle, not having the Overlord there would kind of feel like a missed opportunity. We have several other Ninjago villains returning for this wave, why not bring back the Overlord? To me, that just makes sense. But of course, I've already given you guys my reasonings as to why I think the Overlord will be returning in Ninjago Season 16, and now it's time to turn the discussion over to you guys. Feel free to leave a comment down below talking about what you personally think about all of this information. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, you guys. That'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today, and I appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and as always, check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video. Once again, you guys, my name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.